and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lena and this is Library of Diamonds. And in today's video, we are going to be kitting up this beautiful thing that I have here. It is Royal Cuddles by Margaret Morales. And let me take the drills out of these first. Stuck. Ooh, okay. So I decided to do the regular way. I'm gonna be kitting up. And I decided to do this one, while talking to you, because the latest kitting up videos have been of me just kitting up without talking, without anything. But I figured this one was kind of a special one because, I cannot make it, there it is. Because this is going to be my 100th kit, and just saying that number out loud is crazy, is insane. I started diamond painting, I would say, I don't know, 2.5 years ago. Almost, let's say 2 years and about 8 or 9 months. But really, my journey, what am I doing? No, this is not the way that I kit this one's up. Yeah, I knew that there was something. Yeah, I was distracted by talking. Okay, so let me just see. Okay, this one is a small one, but the way that I kit this up is different. I completely forgot. First, I need to cut. If I want to use the space as best as I can, I typically just kit up first all of the smallest colors, just making sure that these are going into the smallest containers. But let me cut these ones first. Oh, no. Dang it. I forgot that I was saving a video. Like it was saving. Let me go back and check. I am so distracted, but only because, let me see. Okay. Only because I am trying to kind of do everything at once in a way. But let me just make sure that I'm uploading that, because I'm in the process. I just finished editing my fairy sleepover post review, so I just want to make sure that that's uploaded. Let me see. Post review. Here we have it. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so now that's uploading. Okay, so I cut down every, so far, the smallest bags that I believe are going to fit all in the smallest containers. Now, this is tricky because there are so many bags. Like when I was going to start kitting up this one a few days ago, actually, because I had some containers, and I was like, okay, if I have something missing, I can just grab like a few here and there from the other one that I have not kitted down. But guys, just like a few minutes before starting this, I realized that oh my god, let me go grab other pair of tweezers, because these ones have a tip broken. These ones are facing outwards and they're not working, so I need new tweezers. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. And it's quite funny how I say, oh, I'll be right back. But for you, it's been like nothing. It's pretty instant. But whatever, you know, whatever. What was I saying? I completely forgot. Like, tell me something that, oh yeah. Initially, I thought this kit, like for the past week or so that I know that I'm going to be kitting this one up, I thought that the drills, the amount of colors was about 74, 78. I don't know why I had those numbers kind of ingrained into my brain. And just a few minutes ago, when I took the sticker sheet out, like this thingy, and opened it, I saw that this thing is massive. This has 95 colors. And I know, I am perfectly aware that there are so many kits that are like max colors, you know, 200, nearing 300. I don't know if there's something above 300 that they very possibly could have, like could exist. But for me, that's not something that I'm used to. Typically, like these mid to 990s is the biggest I've ever done. And yeah, the last kit that I completed, which was Fairy Sleepover, was actually one in the 90s. And I mentioned like, oh, if you want to kit this up, prepare yourself because it's kind of a challenge. And someone was like, oh yeah, but there's like, and max colors, what, blah, blah, blah. And I know that. But for me, this number feels very challenging, extremely challenging, I have to say. But I guess it is a good idea that I didn't, what's the word? 825. What's that sound? I don't know. There's a weird sound. 825. That I waited until I finished, like until I kitted down the other one, because I would have never in a million years have enough containers to fill out this baby. And I also thought that I was going to get away with only having one tray for this painting. And it's actually quite surprising because the other one that had like 90 something colors, like Fairy Sleepover that I just finished, I was like, okay, this makes sense because that is like a 70 by 100 centimeters diamond painting, which is absolutely massive. What am I missing? Oh yeah, I couldn't find this color, which is absolutely massive. But you know, this one is actually 55.8 by 78.7, which for me, it's more on the middle ground for diamond paintings. Like it's a medium size for me personally. And when I realized the amount of colors with the size of the diamond painting, I was like, oh, well, then that means that we're going to be having some colors, probably more than a few, with barely any drills in them. But you know, that's where the details come in. And I was absolutely sure. Like, look at this. Let me take a little bag of one of the, like, look at this baggie. This one has like virtually no colors. Like, I mean, not colors was not the word that I wanted to use. Like the amount of actual drills, you know, that's barely anything. It's almost inexistent. But well. You know, I know that sometimes a big amount of colors is necessary to give it the detail that it deserves. I get that. I understand that. But yeah. So let me just fish out the 115, the 154 that I grabbed earlier. 154, where is it? It's like a darkish purple maroony color. Where is it? I cannot find it. Oh, here it is. It's this one. Yeah, I know. I knew that it was this one. Ah! No, don't mix. Please don't mix. Don't mix. Okay, we have this one, and we have our first little batch to go. And I like to put first the stickers in a lot of containers, just so that I have like as I said, a little batch going. And let's get started. And I already know for sure that this diamond painting is going to take me at least 2 hours to kit up because that's usually how long this takes me. Now, for the smaller baggies, I think that I can get away. I'm gonna try at least. I think I can get away with only opening like whenever I had like this little amount, I just cut like this and, oh, well, a little bit more careful, I have to say, and create like this little triangle here. And I just drop it like this. And usually, like typically, I'm not gonna say anything, but the static is good, like forgiving, you know, it's not that bad. So I'm gonna try to get away with that with at least the ones that have a very small amount, or that I can feel or sense that don't have much static in them, because that would make the process a bit faster. And I do need to get this kitted up in the next 2 hours because I start work in the next 2 hours. So that would be fantastic, you know. That, oh, Kitty wants something. Why is it always Kitty wanting something just as I, well, no, I say that, yeah, it's not only when I kit up, it's all the time, but especially, I think I feel it especially because I know that this is already gonna take me a very long amount of time, and I just want to like not rush through it if possible, but you know, it's not actually possible. And sometimes I enjoy kitting up, sometimes it's not like my favorite thing to do, but you know, I love the actual act of diamond painting. I believe that's one of my favorite parts. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Sacrifices need to be made. I'm still going to keep my dryer sheet under here just in case I sense that something is not going as I wanted it to go and I have to use it. But, okay, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm happy with how the wheels are flowing, if you know what I mean. And okay, I decided, you know how I mentioned that in the last kitting up videos, I've been doing them like no talking, kind of like in a ASMR type of way. One, because I saw some comments from some subscribers asking me to do that. I think I did that once just because I don't really remember why. I just did it. And then someone was like, oh, please keep doing that. And I was like, okay, I can try to just do them. And sometimes I feel that I have nothing to talk about. So for me, that was kind of like a perfect compromise. Like, we'll win in this situation, you know, that, because it was not only one person who suggested me doing more videos with me, like kitting off videos with me not talking. So I was like, okay, I think I can do it. Let me just check if I'm recording, because this is a bane of my existence. I always need to be verifying that I'm actually recording. I've had too many mishaps of, yeah, but that was not the point. So yeah, I tried it once and I decided that, you know what, I actually kind of liked it, but I don't want all of the videos, either kitting up or kitting down, to be of me not talking, because I already have my ASMR videos, which are of me not talking. And I think that my content is getting a little bit like repetitive, and kind of, you know, the same thing over and over and over. You're hungry. Are you hungry? I think she's hungry. Déjame llenar este, ¿sí? I just asked her to let me fill this container and I'll be with her. Okay. And so I figured that I want to do a few things here and there to just try to spice it up a bit. And I'm trying. I'm really trying. I'm doing some brainstorming, and hopefully things, you know, I can create a little bit of a different set of things every now and then. I'll be right back. Again, what I was saying is that I've been brainstorming some stuff. I'm in the middle of recording kind of it's kind of like a challenge video, but not really a challenge video. I guess you'll be able to understand once it's out. Hopefully I can get it by next week. Definitely not this week, having into consideration that today's the 4th. You're probably going to see this video way ahead of time, like in the future, like in a week and a half or even 2 weeks, because I have other things that need to go up, you know. But yeah, by the time I upload this, it's very possible that you already saw that other video that I'm talking about. But I'm gonna try to keep brainstorming and always keep an eye out for any sort of suggestions that people have. They're always welcome, really. Because, you know, I think that diamond painting is a very, like, there's not much change to it, I believe. It's a, like, once you get into it, it's a pretty rudimentary, is that a word? like a routine thing to do. I just translated literally rutinario, which is actually a word in Spanish, but I don't know if rutinary is a word in English. Let me see what my boyfriend said, because who else would yeah, my boyfriend was like, good morning. And I'm like, good morning. Because even if we literally wake up next to each other every single day, there has not been one day in our relationship when we don't send good morning to each other every single day. Like, yeah. And typically, when he goes out of, like, even if we're laying in bed on a weekend next to each other, we do that. But right now, when he goes to work in the middle of the week, I always forget to say good morning when he says it, because he says it really early when he leaves for work. And sometimes I wake up like early, like I was able to do today, that I woke up at 6. But then there are times where I wake up literally minutes before the start of my shift, which sometimes is at 7 and sometimes is until 10:30. And so I kind of, and then, then I get into work and then I forget, or start the day diamond painting or doing some other stuff, and I forget to answer him. And by the time I answer him, it's already like 1 or 2 o'clock. And he always asks about our kitty. I say like, good morning. And there's like, where's the baby? And so I sent him a picture. So whenever I remember, or whenever I'm like awake enough to remember, whenever I send him good morning, I just immediately sent him a picture of the baby, which is Queenie, our kitty. It's not a kitty. It's an elderly cat. It's a geriatric cat. But do we care? No, she's still our baby. But yeah, he just answered me to that. He was like, so pretty. I know. Okay, that's it. What else? Other important thing, in my opinion, in my books, this is going to be my very first Margaret Morales that I do. And I love that for me. I love that for me because there have been a lot of kids that I've been wanting to do from her, but I never buy them, Typically, whenever they come out, it's either because I'm in a no buy or a low buy, or like before the middle of last year, because honestly, I could not even afford them. And then I don't like having big stashes, and at the time I wasn't like, when something comes out that I like, they're so dreamy and so pretty to look at, that, but I also know that they're sometimes really confetti heavy and all that. So I don't know why they're kind of intimidating for me. But this one that I'm going to be doing, which is Royal Cuddles. If you saw my unboxing of Black Friday, because I got it during Black Friday, it was one of the Black Friday releases. You might have already heard me, gush about this kit in particular. But if you have not seen that video, I'm going to save you that. Like, you can go watch it, of course, but I'm not going to, yeah. Basically, this is one of, like, there are diamond paintings that they come out and I want to immediately have them, but my first look into them was as already existing as diamond paintings, when they release like a preview or something of the sort. For this one, I remember when I discovered that Margaret Morales existed, I loved the artwork, like the style, kind of like the watercolory style. I went into her Instagram and I scrolled all the way down. I looked at every single not diamond painting, my bad. Every single art piece, artwork, illustration that she has done. And when I saw this one, I was like, this is 1000% necessary in my life. Like, this is going to be a must-have. This is going to be a must-buy if it ever comes into fruition. And it did during Black Friday. Actually, during Black Friday, I had a little bit of a mishap when I was wanting to purchase the kits. And honestly, the only thing that I could think of is I don't care. Like, I do not care if I'm not able to get any other diamond painting, but I need this diamond painting in my life. Like, it's not in question. It's not like, no, it's an absolute must have. And if I cannot get it, I'm gonna be so crushed. But if I don't get it in this release, I'm just going to like pray every single day, even though I'm not a religious person. I'm just gonna ask into the universe just to be, you know, restocked soon, or, you know, when one of those times where Dominar Club does like warehouse clean outs, or that's what we as a community, diamond painting community thing happens when they just release like we get some restocks, but it says low quantity or low stock or something like that. We typically think is because, you know, there's going to be a sale or a pretty big release, and they just want to get rid of everything out there that, you know, that's overstock or whatever it is. But yeah, long-winded thing just for me to say that I knew that no matter what, I was going to have this. Sooner or later, I was going to have this. And I was able to get it during Black Friday, despite that struggle that I had at the beginning of the whole journey. I think I explained that as well in my Black Friday video haul thing. Am I recording? Let me check, because I get so stressed out about recording. Yes, I am recording. Fantastic. Where was I? I lose my train of thought, but I prefer to lose it momentarily and just make sure that I keep recording. And, you know, instead of risking me just keep babbling nonstop and me not recording. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why this painting is so special. Because it's my first Margaret Morales, but like the illustration is just the personification of how I feel towards my kitty. And I don't know why this happened in life, but ever since I met that cat, like that little kitty, that is not a kitty, the love that I feel for her is just astronomical. It's out of this world. Like, I adore her with my heart. And one of the things that makes me sad is knowing that she's a geriatric cat, so she's old, you know, she's up there, and that breaks my heart. Like, you have no idea. But, you know, this is called Royal Cuddles, and you might think that the royal in this case is the girl that's holding the cat, and she might be, like, she has a crown, so she could very well be. But the kitty in the illustration has a crown, and my cat is called Queenie, as in queen, you know. She's like, that's why her name is Queenie, because when she was a baby, she's always been like very stubborn, very demanding, very cat-like. But, you know, my mother-in-law and my boyfriend rescued her like many years ago. And ever since she was a baby, she was demanding, she was stubborn, she was like all of these things. So my mother-in-law, I don't know if it was my mother-in-law, I believe it was my mother-in-law that called her Reinita. Like, she's such a Reinita, which literally means queenie. It's like a diminutive of queen. Like, she's so spoiled. She's so, you know, as you know, sometimes queens have this stereotype way of us looking at them, you know, like they're the bosses, so they can do whatever they want. So that's why she's called Queenie. And, you know, in this painting, the cat in particular, while my cat is not absolutely and completely white, it's in its majority white, but regardless of what color the cat in the illustration was, like, the cat has a crown and the cat is a queen. And so, yeah, I don't know. I might be giving meaning to something that, like, I may be too deep into it, like giving it so, like, too much of a deep thought, but I don't care, because that's what it means to me. And so that's why I chose this diamond painting as my 100th diamond painting. I wanted it to be extra special. And actually, originally when I purchased it, I was not going to be doing this kit for a while. I wanted to save it and savor it, and, you know, to keep it in me for longer. And then when I realized that I was approaching my 100th diamond painting, I started to think, like, I want my 100th one to be special. And I love all the diamond paintings that I have. You know that I have a small stash and that I typically like buy what feels absolutely a must have. And, you know, even then I don't always end up purchasing everything. And that's, for me, that makes them extra special. Like every single diamond painting that I do, I thoroughly enjoy no matter what. And I think that's, it's not like I'm forcing myself to enjoy them. I think that I enjoy them so much because they're chosen with so much care. And that's what that's what makes me love them even more. It makes them special. It makes me just enjoy the entire process of me working in them. And so I was thinking, okay, what is a special diamond painting or a special painting that I can do as my 100? Let me take a sip of my massive thing of coffee. Delicious. And this one just popped into my brain. Like I remembered, like I kind of, I don't use gem flows or anything because like, I don't think I need it because of my stash being so little, you know? And I kind of visualize, I can visualize every single kit that I have. And this one just popped into my brain and I was like, yeah, like it was a no-brainer. It was like, there's no what ifs, buts, or whatever, that's the wording. I know that this is it. And yeah, I finished my 98th diamond painting on March 1st, which was Fairy Sleepover. That was meant to be finished by the 20th of February, but I couldn't. So I finished it on the 1st of March, like a day after. And then I finished also my 99th finish just yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, just yesterday. Beautiful Sadness, which was also meant to be a February finish. But again, same story. I was not able to finish it. And I've been working on an Oraloa set of 4 paintings, the ones that are like 30 by 30 centimeters. But, and I actually wanted to, like, those have been popping into my brain very often lately. And I think it was a good choice that I made the decision of count that, like, at least the ones that I'm going to be completing this year, I'm not going to count them individually anymore. Like, last year I did 2 of the summer sets and I counted each 30 by 30 as 1. So the entire set, instead of counting it as 1, I counted like as 4. But I decided that this year, well, I had not really decided yet, but I thought I gave some thought to it and I was like, maybe I'm going to be counting them as 1, the whole thing. Ooh. And then when it was time for me to keep something else and I didn't have the trays ready to go and I had to wait and whatnot. And I had the space, but I had to combine 2 different sets of containers, like some round, some squares. I didn't want that for this kit in particular. So I just waited and it came out perfectly. Like, I don't have to count it as a finish, and that's good because I already finished one of the small ones of the 30 by 30 ones, but that would put me like at a 4th of, you know, the entire thing. So I'm glad that I didn't, because I didn't, like, it's not that it's a bad diamond painting, but it doesn't hold as much meaning as this one does, you know? This one is different. This one is very different. It's very, very special in a whole new level. And so, yeah, I'm so happy. And I think that after I kit this one up, I'm going to be working exclusively on, okay, I'm just saying this right now that I'm kitting it up. But now that I think about it, that might be hard because, okay, I'll get into it later. But I think I want to work on this exclusively, at least until the weekend. Today's Wednesday, so that would mean that, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday maybe, because my order from DIY Delights from the latest release just got here into my country, into my city. I order most of my diamond paintings. I order them through a forwarding address, but this past, I would say, month, they've been taking so long. Like typically they would arrive to that forwarding address, you know, in 2 to 3 days, like a very typical amount of time for anything that you would purchase, like in the US, like from the US to the US, a couple of days, nothing more than that. But then you have to like do a whole process of going, like you're notified through an app that the kit is in the location in the US, and then you can select if you want to send the packages to your city, because there are different kind of places, like points, established points that you can use to pick your stuff up. So you can choose for them to get sent over, or you know, there's the location where they arrive is actually close to the border, and many people prefer to, like my mother-in-law sometimes does this, where she waits for you know, a lot of packages to arrive, and if she has like something to do just across the border in the US, she goes and picks them up herself. You can choose those two things. And of course, I don't really go to the US like at all. I don't have really many things to go to or for. And I always choose for the kids to be, well, not only the kids, but everything to be sent over here to me. And typically that process, let's say that they arrive by Friday, and they of course only work half day Saturday, they don't work on Sunday. So the whole process finishes by Monday morning, let's say, and things are typically arriving by Wednesday, I want to say, or Thursday or something like that. So the process takes like kind of I mean, it's not a crazy short amount of time, but it's not a crazy long amount of time either. But this time, like this past month, oh my God, I ordered some shoes for my sister, for one of my sisters, and it arrived at the office over there on the, what date was it? On the 12th of February, I believe. And I select, you know, the whole thing, like, oh yeah, send them over. And I was like, okay, they arrived the 12th, so I'm expecting them here in my city by the 16th, 17th at the latest. You guys, it arrived on the 27th. Like, that's full 2 weeks. And I know that's a very first world problem, but it was stressing me out because it was actually like, it was a gift. I wanted to give it to her by a certain specific time frame, and I was not able to, and I was going crazy, and I was like, what's going on? And that forwarding address was introduced to me by my boyfriend, like it's under his name and everything. And so I asked him, like, what is happening? Why am I not getting my stuff? Again, I know this is a very first world problem thing. I 1000% acknowledge it, but it was still annoying. It was still very stressing, because for a second I was like, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I selected the wrong thing or I don't know, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe they changed something and I didn't notice, and whatever. And he was like, no, things are just taking a stupid long amount of time to arrive here, like for them to send them over. And we don't really know why exactly. We try to be very understanding and very like logical about things, and we're like, okay, if things are taking longer, something might be happening, but if they have not informed us about something specifically, maybe we don't have to worry about it just yet. Like maybe we don't have to overthink things. Difficult thing for me because I'm the anxiety queen. But we decided that if this keeps happening for, you know, the next couple of weeks, then we're definitely going to be reaching out and just, you know, asking like, hey, what's going on? Just because we want to know if there's like, if that's like a new kind of situation, like a new normal in a way, or whatever else. But in the meantime, we're just waiting. And so that, again, that long-winded thing, just for me to say that my Day One Delights stuff arrived, I don't remember when. Was it the 20? I think it arrived to those offices on the 23rd. No, on the 21st of February. So when it, like arriving the 21st, like a couple of days for the process and everything. I don't even remember if it was like close to the weekend or whatever, but I remember thinking very clearly. Let me double check what February 1st was. Why can I not see the calendar? I want to see the calendar. Where's the calendar? Calendar. Okay, calendar. Open up. Okay, February 21st. Yeah, so it arrived on Saturday, the 21st. And I was like, okay, it's very possible that I can have my paintings by Wednesday, which was the 25th. And they were not sending it. They were not sending it. Thankfully, it didn't take 2 weeks like my sister's shoes, but they finally arrived today, March 3rd, which is about a week after I was expecting that. Oh my God, that sounds so self-centered, and I'm really sorry about that, but it's just that I was very excited for that kit. And I already know, I'm not sure yet, but I already know that as soon as one of those kits arrive, let me just double check again if I'm recording, because it would be a disaster if I wasn't. I only have 10% battery of my Apple Watch. How am I supposed to look at things again? The old way? Okay, it was recording. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I still don't know yet, but I know 1000% that I want to start one of those kits, one of the new releases from DIY Delights, as soon as it arrives. I have one in mind, but I'm not sure yet. I don't remember the dimensions of it just yet. But I do know that all of the paintings are like more of a regular size canvas. You know, DIY Delights started pretty much as a small sets, pretty small, teeny tiny canvases, stickers, stuff like that. And now Elvira is branching out into like bigger canvases. And for a little bit, like for a little while now, it's not something like super new, but as of right now, the only canvas, well, no, I've done two 50 by 50s canvases, which are, you know, more like a standard size. For me, that would count towards like the middle range size wise. I'm tired of speaking. I'm tired of speaking. But now the ones from the ones that are arriving, I think 3 of them are like more like 50 by 60-ish, 70-ish. I don't know, but they're definitely bigger. So I have 2 in mind that I might want to start. Out of the ones that I ordered, 2 are in squares and 2 are in rounds. I think that I want to do a round, but my most favorite one from that release is actually square. But I sometimes like to, well, I don't know yet. I don't know. I am, you know, sometimes I get not burned out necessarily, but a little tired of working exclusively on squares. And right now I just like I just finished a round one, which is Beautiful Sadness. And that was in rounds. And then there were Loa Set is in squares. Fairy Sleepover was in squares. Other one that I recently finished, which was Ballroom Apparitions, was in squares. This one is in squares. And so I think I might have something round kitted up. I'll think about it. You know, I guess that I'll decide as soon as I see the diamond paintings. Although I think that the one that I'm going to start first is the one of kitties at the cafe. Is it called Cat Cafe? I don't know. I don't remember. But it's very green and brown in colors, which this is scary because green and brown are not my favorite colors to diamond paint. But, you know, the end results, I think it's going to be worth it. I believe it's going to be pretty worth it. Okay. Oh, I'm getting tired. I just want to start doing this. If I just could finish kitting up with just a little bit of time for me to do, you know, to place a few drills before my work shift starts, that would be fantastic. That would be really good. But yes, I am definitely starting this one today. And I do think I'm gonna work on this one exclusively. I'm gonna try my best to work on this, like, until Sunday exclusively. And who knows, maybe I get my DIY, wait, what? Maybe I get my, what? 590? Where's this? Did I not put this one here? Did I not put the sticker for this one? That's weird. I don't know what happened. But yeah, I might even get the DIY Woman Delights right away, and I might not feel so strongly about heating them up, although I really doubt it. But you know, you never know what's gonna happen. And I like to, like, I do like to plan things, but I also do things on a whim. Like, I think I have a good balance between the two. Like, starting that Orloa one was kind of like on a whim, because I already knew that I was going to be kitting this one up. But I also have been thinking about that set of Orloas for a little bit. I've had them for a while, like, since they were released, and I was kind of holding up on working on them because I was like, it's not summer, it's not summer, it's not summer. But I wanted to work on the small ones, but I didn't want to work on the Christmas ones, because even though we were still in winter, it was not Christmas anymore. It was just winter, not Christmas. But I think I'm gonna work them on July, for Christmas in July, because I cannot stop thinking of them. And so I was like, okay, I want to work on this ones, but it's still not summer, and the like, it's called summer style. Like, they don't have a specific name, like a, you know, flourish name or whatever, but they are called summer style, like A, B, and C pretty much. And I was like, okay, yeah, but we're approaching spring, and these are also kind of springy looking. Like, the colors are very, like, vibrant, and, you know, pinks and blues and stuff. So I was like, you know, I make the rules of my own game. This is my hobby. I get to decide what to do with it at every single step of the way, you know? So I started that one. But now I think I'm going to be using it. I was thinking about it. Maybe I will work on it if work gets kind of heavier and I cannot work on it, because it's a bit easier to work on a smaller canvas, like right next to my computer, instead of working on a bigger canvas where I have to have basically my computer on top of the canvas, like, while I'm working. And I know, don't tell my bosses. They're pretty forgiving regardless, but don't tell them anyways. Don't tell them anyways. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I've rambled so much. I feel that I've talked... Okay, I always think this. I always think that I've talked for such a long time. But then... I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. But then I realized that I've talked for like 20 minutes or so. So I don't even know how long this video is going to be. Like, I still have 2 massive strips left to do. I'm only filling like the smallest containers, and we're already at 39. We're approaching 39, 42, 52. We're approaching the 52 mark of the small containers, which is crazy. Why did I open this one? What? Yeah, so I know that at least we have 50. Is it 52 or 51? No, 52. I know that at least we have 52 containers, but I think that some of the other bags that I have not yet cut down. Okay, so 52 plus this 3 is 53. And I think I might be able to squeeze a few of the next colors into the smallest containers. And then I know that I will need to move into the medium-sized ones. But that's why I like to do this, because I prefer to just fill out the smallest ones first, like go by size. And then I just rearrange by DMC order. I know people sometimes order their trays by color palette. I know Kate does that, and that looks really, really cool. Oh, this is not this one. Oh my god, I almost messed it up. And that's really cool, but I don't know. I don't think I'm so good at colors that I am able to do that. I did that with one other canvas with ballroom operations, but I think at the end of the day, I'm okay. Like, I prefer to do the way that I do it, like end up putting them in DMC order. At the end of the day, I just kind of learn where every single color is. And that's easier. I think that's easier. But yeah. Guys, I don't think I can talk about anything else anymore. So I think I will be going to, well, okay, I'm going to go pick my AirPods and try to finish kitting this up. I have not even used my dryer sheet at all. I hope that the rest are just like this. That way kitting up is not going to take me an hour and a half more. I'm really hoping that's the case, because if I can finish this in the next, let's say 30 to 40 minutes, I might be able to get a good 30-minute diamond painting in, which could be probably almost a section. I don't know. But yeah, I'll get my AirPods in and continue kitting up that way. So just when I finish these 3 colors. And, you know, at any point, if I remember something that I want to mention or whatever, I'll just pop in and mention it. So this is your cue to leave if you want to leave. I don't think that if I say anything else, you're going to miss something important. Maybe you will, but I mean, important? Who decides if my life is important? Like for everybody else, whatever. Yeah, this is your cue. You have permission to go if you don't wish to keep seeing me putting drills into containers without me speaking. Okay? Okay. Have a great rest of your day. And if you're still here, thank you for keep watching. Still. What? Oh. Uh-oh. What was this color? 819, 733, 26. Yeah.